Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of Toast Talks, where we discuss everything from fitness, health, dieting, workouts, new things, old things, what works and what doesn't. Okay. Um, for today's edition of Toast Talks, sponsored by Perfect Form Fitness Juice, real juice, just to help with your juicing, cleansing. Um, just your overall health. A great addition to a well balanced diet. And you can always check it on www.p4fit.com. Um, really good for you. All right. Next, our guest today is classic trained chef Chantel Quayle. Just show a little video about her first, and then we'll add her to the live.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm Chantel, and I'm a classically trained chef who specializes in plant-based cuisine. On this channel, you will learn how to make the most wonderful and delicious plant-based meals without compromising flavor and excitement. After working my way up the culinary ladder and having my fair share of trial and errors, I've learned a lot about making food exciting. I use all of this information to make videos about kitchen hacks and tips, as well as full cooking tutorials to inspire others to cook with confidence. I believe that healthy eating does not have to mean boring. So if you want to learn how to make healthy plant-based meals without compromising flavor and excitement, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you do not miss out on our weekly recipes. I'll meet you over in the kitchen.
So here we have Chantel Quayle, a trained chef and culinary artist on a mission to add flavor to healthy meals.
Yep.
Welcome to Toast Talks.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Chantel. I am in New York, born and raised, and I'm a classically trained chef, like you said, and I teach people how to make healthy plant-based meals without compromising flavor and excitement.
Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Yep.
what gave you the passion for plant-based meals or vegan meals? But before we go into that, what's the difference between plant-based and vegan?
Okay, so one of the major differences is with a plant-based lifestyle, you have a little bit more of a flexibility, if you will, when it comes to eating animal products. So I personally still eat eggs and I still eat fish on occasion, but most of my diet is fruit, vegetables, and grains. So with veganism, there's no type of animal products being consumed. So that's why I say I'm plant-based, not vegan. So yeah.
So what fuels your passion for it?
So honestly, starting off, it was for weight loss. I was
Hmm.
just like, I tried everything in the book. I was like, all right, going plant-based is the only thing I didn't try, so I might as well see what it's all about.
Hmm.
And then like once I started to actually like make recipes and try them out and actually eat them, I got excited because one, there's like a lot of variety, and two, it got like my creative juices flowing in the kitchen, and I really
Hmm.
loved that. So it just kind of stuck
Oh,
at that point. Yep.
oh, nice. And
Yeah.
I know you said initially it was for weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
What other benefits have you seen personally
Yeah.
once you went plant-based?
I would say that I have more energy, less brain fog, the skin is glowing. Um,
We see.
and I just feel like better overall, honestly. Like it's definitely um rejuvenating in a sense. Eating, food that is alive
Hmm.
with the fresh produce and all that, it really helps you feel better.
Okay,
Mhm.
nice. And now, can you take us, I guess, through your weight loss journey
Okay.
um, from when you first started going plant-based? Um, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so this weight loss journey I've been on has been over the past couple of years at this point. So I've lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight.
Hmm.
So when I started I started taking like the plant-based lifestyle seriously
Hmm.
last year, and I was able to lose 23 pounds,
Hmm.
just like continuously every week losing 2 pounds,
Hmm.
like they say you're supposed to
Yeah.
with weight loss. So overall, I've lost 44 pounds
Oh, congrats.
and counting. Thank you. I still have about like 15 more to go, but I'm not too hard on myself now because I feel so great. So I know like a lot of people really focus on the scale and, if it
Mhm.
doesn't move, they freak out and all that. But like you also have to go off of how you feel.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling, healthier, less lethargic and all of that, go with that too until the scale starts moving again.
Okay.
Yep.
So I understand you say you're going how you feel, but do
Mm.
you also track anything else, such as like your macros, protein, fats, carbs, and how does that go with the plant-based lifestyle?
So right now I don't. I did last year and I kind of got lazy. I'm not going to lie to you. And I think it's definitely tracking is definitely important when you're trying to lose
Hmm.
weight. I won't say that you shouldn't track because it has helped me personally.
Hmm.
So yeah, it is important. I'm definitely gonna have to get back into it because I do want to lose 15 more pounds.
Hmm.
Um, and with for me, it's a little bit difficult with the plant-based lifestyle only because I make literally everything that I
Hmm.
eat. So when I put it into like my fitness pal, it's just more tedious for me because I legit have to like go like, line for line in terms of my recipes to write everything down to then put it in to then track it. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit tedious as opposed to having like, I don't know, like a pre-packaged meal or something that you have the actual, macros down for you to look at.
Hmm. You easily just read the nutrition facts.
Yeah.
So I noticed you're a classically trained chef. Where did you train at?
So I went to Johnson and Wales University out in Rhode Island. So I have my degree in culinary arts and food service management.
Okay.
So yeah, I was there for 4 years, and then I just worked my way up through the regular hospitality, channels.
Hmm.
So started off as a prep cook, made it to a line cook, made it to a chef, and then I owned a catering company for a few years. And now I'm segueing into teaching more just to kind of, broaden my horizons and help people who are trying to eat healthier but are kind of like stuck
Hmm.
on how to do it. So that's kind of like my passion right now.
And through your history from prep cook, line
Mm-hmm.
cook, were there certain foods do you that you saw that you're like, I would like to make this more plant-based? Like certain foods that certain people want to eat that you say, you know what, I could make this more plant-based
Mm-hmm.
or uh, a different way so that it's healthier for the individual.
Honestly, I would say like during my process working in other kitchens, I did not have that type of mindset. I wasn't thinking about
Mhm.
eating healthy or anything like that. I was kind of just there to get a check like everybody else, you
Yeah.
know? So it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. But
Hmm.
right now, I'm always thinking about how I could make something healthier or more plant-based. So, for example, you know how everybody loves them some like rasta pasta and jerk chicken, right?
Yep.
So
I know I
I kind
do.
of just so I actually made like a plant-based version of that. So it's completely dairy free. The jerk chicken is actually oyster mushrooms.
Yeah.
The jerk sauce is made from scratch and all of that. And I actually have like a how-to tutorial on that on YouTube. That's where most of my like long form cooking content is. So people
Hmm.
could actually like follow along step by step and cook with the video.
Hmm.
So now I like to make popular dishes that people would normally go for plant-based just so that they don't feel like they have to give up on the foods that they love just for the sake of being healthier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So what would you say since you're avidly in the gym as well?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get your protein intake.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say are some of your go-to ingredients? Just that you infuse in your meals to be.
So for protein, I use a lot of chia seeds, flax
Mhm.
seeds, quinoa, all
Mhm.
types of legumes. So the chickpeas, the regular beans, and all of that. Every once in a while, I will take some plant-based protein powder, um, and I just stick to like the mushrooms and all of that too.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice. Nice. Which plant-based protein powder do you use? Because I know a lot of people struggle with trying to find one
A
because
good
it,
one, right?
yeah, because it's usually nasty or clunky. It doesn't mix well. So which one is your
True.
go-to?
So right now, like my go-to is
Hmm.
Orgain. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I've had
I think they're pretty good, but I think it's all trial and error in my opinion. Because sometimes I get tired of it too, even though it is, better than most. So yeah, right now it's Orgain.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And since plant-based isn't just about the main entrees, it also includes desserts. What are your
Mm-hmm.
favorite desserts that you created?
Um, I'm actually not really a dessert person like that, but I do love sorbet, and that is, technically plant based and dairy free. And I actually just made a mango one yesterday.
Oh,
um, so that would be my go to. I don't know what else because I'm really not a dessert person.
hmm.
So
I think
yeah,
I
I'll
saw
just say
you.
sorbet.
You
Mm.
had like a nice cobbler or something,
Oh,
and
oh, yes. So okay, so that was actually a breakfast item. So in that, I guess you could technically have it as dessert too, but in that it was a peach and blueberry crumble.
mhm,
So the top crumble was made out of some oats, shredded coconut, some maple syrup,
mhm,
and they just baked that off on top of the peaches and the blueberry.
mhm.
So I guess technically, yes, you could consider that to be dessert too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are ways, or I guess a few ways that someone could transition into a more plant-based um, diet? Because I know you
Mm-hmm.
also eat fish
Yep.
at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, how can one, I guess, go more into a plant-based slash pescatarian diet if there's such a meat lover?
One, I would say subscribe to my YouTube. Uh, Two, just honestly incorporate more fruits and vegetables into your life. And you could do that by getting online subscription to like a grocery delivery service so that you're introducing new things to your diet
Hmm.
because you could get really bored off of eating broccoli and string beans all day.
Hmm.
Um, and I would just say try new things because a lot of people I think are kind of put off by the plant-based diet because they haven't tried it or don't know what to try.
Hmm.
So I would say, yeah, subscribe to me. It makes your life easier. And then also just go to the grocery store, pick up something that looks cool to you,
Hmm.
buy it. You could go on YouTube or Google how to cook it and then just go from there.
Yeah. Because I also saw you have a posting on how to kind of revamp your pantry, right?
I do. Yeah, so it is a free guide that you could get sent to your email
Hmm.
that is building your plant-based pantry. So it goes down the list from like the most essential things you need to start.
Hmm.
And that's actually in my link tree that is on my Instagram, in my Instagram description if you guys want it.
Okay.
Mhm.
What would you say are the five most important things to add in your pantry? Don't give them all the,
Or
gems.
not all the goods.
Yeah, yeah, they still need to go to your YouTube and
Let's see, the five most important. I would say liquid aminos,
Mhm,
quinoa, some kind of like sesame oil, because that's just flavor right there.
mhm,
Mm, we all need seasonings. That's very important
mhm.
in anybody's pantry. Season your food. It's like that's the only
Most
way you'll be
definitely.
happy. um, and what would be a fifth one? I don't even know because at that point everything else is like fresh,
Hmm.
so it's harder to. Mm, I think I was just gonna have to leave it at the four.
Okay.
You're gonna have to click that link to find the rest of them.
Check the guide. Check the guide. So, with going plant-based,
Mm-hmm.
I guess a lot of concern that some may have is you mentioned this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does one keep everything fresh or I guess scheduled to use the vegetables that were bought so that it does you don't waste money because
Yeah,
it is an inflation out there. Vegetables are
it was
rising in price.
expensive. It was very expensive.
Yes.
I would say when it comes to grocery shopping,
Mhm.
only buy what you know you're going to cook.
Okay.
Because like um if you know that you're like feeling lazy and you're just forcing yourself to the grocery shop, don't buy fresh produce
Mm-hmm.
because it will spoil. Like you have to have like that intention in mind that okay, I'm buying the produce today to cook tomorrow. Because
Hmm.
I can't cook after grocery shopping. That's just too much. But yeah, you just have to be intentional with it. And because
Hmm.
you know it's pricey, I would hope that you would want to, get a return on your investment, actually be able to eat whatever you buy.
Hmm.
So just be intentional.
So would you recommend frozen vegetables as a way to kind of help with that?
I would say so. It doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then and the other question I would say is what other ways can someone get fresh vegetables, like a farmer's market, or what ways can someone get, I guess, vegetables for a good price?
I would say, like you said, the farmers market, but I would also say one of these online produce delivery services, kind
Hmm.
of like Imperfect Foods or something like that, where they deliver produce that is not aesthetically pleasing
Hmm.
enough to put out into grocery stores.
Yeah, I've heard of
So
that.
yeah, so like I've done that in the beginning of COVID. I actually had all my produce delivered that way,
Hmm.
and that's how I was able to add more variety to my diet and learn more about different fruits and vegetables. And honestly, they don't look ugly, but to like I guess a passing person in a grocery store, they would be like, why is
Hmm.
it like this or whatever. So I would suggest that an online produce delivery service.
Okay. And you're an avid vacationer. You travel the world,
I do.
just just to relax, have fun.
Yeah.
Um, how do you incorporate plant-based lifestyle in the various countries that you visited?
So, depending on if I'm in a hotel or if I am in, say, like an Airbnb
Hmm.
situation, the first thing I do when I touch down, I drop my suitcases off to said
Hmm.
location and I go to the grocery store and I get water, some form of fresh fruit, fresh produce. If there is a kitchen, I will get eggs and like a loaf of bread. And
Hmm.
then I always have like either electrolyte packets on me or bentonite clay, which helps, God forbid, if you were to get like food poisoning or
Hmm.
something like that. So I
That's
always
a
come
gem.
prepared. Yeah, I always have it with me. Um, and if I'm in, say, like an all inclusive resort, usually they have, produce and stuff like that on the buffets and stuff like that. So I just eat that.
Hmm.
Um, since I do eat fish and stuff like that, usually they have that as well. So it's not too much of a difficulty for me.
Hmm.
And then one could hope that they have like rice and stuff like that too. So yeah,
The fillers.
yeah.
So can you walk us through a process of one of your masterful creations? Um, I think you mentioned before, like split pea soup was one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I guess how do you create from conception to I guess to inception? Could have said that wrong, but
I honestly can't even correct you. So like I know what you mean, but I don't know. Um, I would okay. So am I love mystery boxes. Like on like cooking shows where just like, oh, here's a box of ingredients, figure it out kind of
Mhm,
situation. I love that stuff. I think mostly because that's how our um finals were in college.
mhm.
Here's a box of produce, figure out a meal, and hopefully you'll pass.
Oh
So I
wow,
kind of
it's like
just
Hell's
like,
Kitchen.
yeah, yes, it is. So I kind of just like took that with me now, and I find it to be fun. So most of the time, the recipes that I post are literally just whatever I had in the
Mhm,
house, and it just so happened to become some kind of recipe of sorts. Um, or I do recipes based off of memory
mhm,
or like a memory of someone. So the split pea soup recipe actually reminded me of my grandfather. He used to make it all the time for us growing up. So I just randomly was just like, you know what, today I'm missing my grandfather, I'm missing his soup, let me go make it. And then kind of just try to mimic what I remember it to taste like. So there's no real clear cut way I like make the recipes. It's just something, it's like a feeling, if you will. And I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of jot things down that I know will pair well with each other.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a nice emotional aspect to it in
Mm-hmm.
certain ways.
Yep.
Um, I guess I have I have a personal question. How do you feel about certain, I guess, restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
right, that say they're vegan or I guess plant-based, but
Yep.
everything is basically fried in soy?
Um, I think that is great for those who like to eat it,
Hmm.
but I also think that there should be a fresh produce element to it. If you are going to say that it is plant based, it is vegan,
Hmm.
because if you do say that it is a vegan restaurant, there are a lot of vegan meats out there, so it kind of makes sense that they would have like the prepackaged soy products in that aspect. But since plant based is more, straight from produce, no over processed foods and stuff like that,
Hmm.
it should be there on the menu somewhere and not just a salad.
Yeah, because it'll almost be misleading to say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is all plant-based, but certain numbers such as high blood pressure,
Yep.
someone could still get diabetic from eating, vegan, if you're taking nothing but sugar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually went to this festival once, this food festival that was supposed to be like a vegan plant based situation, and
Hmm.
everything was deep fried, and there was not one piece of green vegetable or anything at any of the tents, and I was actually disappointed.
Hmm.
It was just like, come on, like how? This doesn't make any sense. There should be
That's
something like,
yeah.
but
Should be a garden or something.
exactly a tomato,
That's a
anything.
yes. Because I hate that it's kind of, especially for the community, is misleading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Healthy. Because everyone say, "Oh yeah, I'm eating vegan, I'm eating plant based," and then you really see what they're eating, and you're like, "No, your
Yeah.
cholesterol, your skin's not going to be good. Your cholesterol is
Yeah.
getting higher. You ate nothing but a dessert. You
It's
know,
true. And that's
so
another reason why I started this whole like Chantel's Food Ventures thing too,
mhm,
so that people have like some form of direction. Because it's easy to kind of just um, see a package like in the freezer section or something. It's just like, okay, well, it's vegan, so it's healthy, you know?
mhm,
Like technically Oreos are vegan, but they also have, blue dye number whatever in them and all this
mhm,
stuff, and it's not necessarily healthy for you. So it's definitely a trial and error type thing. You don't know until you know,
yeah.
you know?
I'll keep leading the way and taking us to a healthy plant based diet.
Hopefully.
Um, so what other, I guess, what other, what's in future for you? Because you say you used to own a catering business, right?
Hmm.
I guess,
Technically, I still own it, but
okay,
it's a little dormant right now.
okay.
Hmm.
So what ways? So I know you're doing the, I guess not just podcasts, but
Hmm.
TikToks. You're doing YouTubes, the how-to
Yeah,
videos. Are there
content.
content
Hmm.
creating, which is very helpful. Are there any products that someone can, I guess, order from you?
So right now, I do have
Hmm.
two e-cookbooks on my, I think that's also linked in my link tree.
Hmm.
One of them is for a plant-based holiday feast um, recipe
Hmm.
book. So it has like, dairy-free mac and cheese on there, some oyster
Hmm.
mushrooms, collard
Hmm.
greens, candied yams, all of that stuff on there. You could get that. Um, and then there's also another cookbook that's kind of just a compilation of my favorite recipes from last year.
Hmm.
Um, and there's also no, yeah, just those two. The other one's not, it's not out yet.
Okay, on the way.
on the way.
All of that is important because
Mhm.
just having an idea of what to cook, based on your cookbook is very helpful because a lot of times people get in a rut of ordering out the same thing over and over
Mhm.
again. And like I said, your ingredients in your meals are very inspirational. Uh,
Thank you. Yeah.
like you once said, healthy doesn't mean boring,
No,
right?
it doesn't. That is like the biggest misconception ever, and I hate to hear it. But I understand why people would think that it is because um, if you were to like Google healthy eating,
Hmm.
say like maybe 2 years ago, it would be salads and water
Hmm.
and oatmeal.
And
Although I do
Subway.
love oatmeal, but and Subway, yes. So it's just like it's kind of like ingrained in us to think that it means boring. It means there's not going to be any flavor. It means that you have to leave your cultural foods behind and
Yeah,
all of that, and that's just not the case.
uh, definitely not. So
Nope.
what's your favorite? I know I didn't ask this specific. What's your favorite
Mhm.
seasoning?
My favorite seasoning.
Yes.
Mm, I don't think I have a specific, but my baseline will
Mm.
have to be salt, pepper, onion, garlic, smoked paprika. That's the base, and then I just build on top of that, depending on what the cuisine is and all of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And I guess if you could pause for a second, I want to show a video. It's not gonna have sound. Sorry, y'all, but it's just to kind of show one of your creations, right? So bear with me for a second. Uh,
Guess in the meantime, how's everybody doing? How are you feeling? Feel free to comment. Don't be shy.
it's gonna take you off for 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, that's what happens. Is it possible to exit the combination?
Let me
The
see the collab.
Yeah.
Let me see from my end. Yes. All right. I will leave right now.
Okay. Hi. Hold on, everyone.
I wrap my tofu into a paper towel, removing any excess liquid from it, and then I cut the tofu into thick slices and then into triangles. From here, I season the tofu down because tofu is only as good as how you season it. I leave that off to the side to marinate while I work on this week of tofu. I'm starting off by wrapping my tofu into a paper towel, removing any excess liquid from it, and then I cut the tofu into thick slices and then into triangular shapes. From here, I season. Let's start with.
Okay. So that was just a visual of one of your creations.
Yeah. So that particular video was for escovitch tofu. I don't know if there are any Jamaicans on here right now, but that is a play off of escovitch fish for those who don't eat fish.
Good. So, any questions from the audience before? Actually, so what's in future for you?
So I'm actually working on developing some virtual live cooking classes that people can sign up for.
Ooh.
So in the comfort of their home, we could probably
Hmm.
have either a Zoom call or something like that where people could like ask their questions, get like a play by play, in the comfort of their home.
Hmm.
So I'd send off the grocery list to them, the recipe, and all that stuff prior to the actual cooking class date. And then we
Hmm.
just, have some fun in the kitchen and then get to eat.
Oh yeah, people need that, and that's a good idea for date nights as well.
It is. To be
Yeah,
healthy and in love.
it's a good tagline.
Right? I should use that around February times. It's like, all right, guys.
So what are ways for people to reach you?
So you could actually subscribe to my YouTube. You could follow me on here. You could join my newsletters that come out every Tuesday that give you some healthy, fun facts, kitchen tips, and so on.
Hmm.
I just did one yesterday about the mushroom and all the many different mushrooms they have out there, how to use them in cooking, and then mushroom specific recipes that you could try at your home. So all of those links are in my link tree in my bio on Instagram. So follow, subscribe. I don't bite. And yeah.
And to backtrack on what you just said about mushrooms,
Yep.
I actually was in Wegmans the other day. I actually got confused when I was looking for mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely gonna look at your newsletter because I was looking at oyster mushrooms to
Yep.
chopped portobello, and I was like, I don't know what I need right now.
Oh, oh, I was about to ask what were you trying to make?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so you definitely need
Yeah.
that. It really breaks down each one
Hmm.
to make it a little bit easier and less, you be confident walking back into weddings to pick up what you want.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, any questions from the audience? Ask about anything, food recipes, any problems you've had. Hey, you have a classically trained chef right here.
Don't be shy. If I don't know the answer, I'll get back to you, of course.
And let me drop the link.
So I like using mushrooms. So the question was, what do you like using mushrooms in?
Mhm.
Um, I literally use them in almost anything because I find mushrooms to be very versatile. So lately I've done mushroom gravy. I've done some mushroom meatballs. I've done jerk mushrooms. I've done fried oyster mushrooms. I did a uh, beef stew solely based on multiple different mushrooms. So I just use them for everything.
Nice.
Mhm.
They are very versatile
They are.
and protein based.
They are.
And it's also crazy how you can use mushroom as, I guess, the main ingredient inside, and you can also use it as the bread substitute to hold whatever else you want inside, right?
I've heard that. I've not done it, but I have seen people use portobello mushrooms
Mhm.
as um, a bun.
Okay. I tried that once, but I don't think I drained it well, so it was real soggy.
You, yeah, that's. Mm-mm. I
Yes.
don't do soggy.
So as you can see, I've been having a little bit of problem with mushrooms for a while.
Yeah, once you
So
get the
I'm,
hang of them, that's when the real magic starts happening. Because originally I did not like mushrooms.
mhm.
I thought they were strange, but now I can't get enough of them. Between that and lentils, those are probably my two favorite um, vegetables or legumes, if you will,
Mhm.
right now. And I literally use them in everything.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
yeah, especially lentils. I just did a lentil bouillabaisse. I filmed it yesterday or last week. I filmed it. It's actually going to be posted live on YouTube tomorrow at 4 p.m. for those who want to watch and see what it's all about. And it's actually really good and really satisfying and protein packed.
Oh, nice. I guess we'll have to, if you could write what your YouTube name is on how to search you, or is it Chantel's Food Ventures or
Yeah, yes, it is. Chantel's Food Ventures on all platforms.
just write it just for the people. And
Yeah. And the actual link is also in my description for those who don't want to actually type it in. It'll be
yeah.
like that.
So follow her right now. Okay. It will definitely help your fitness, health, wellness, mental health journey.
I actually do have a fitness question for you. Now I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
What is your the best advice you would give for somebody who is trying to lose body fat while simultaneously building muscle and strength?
Lose body fat while
Mm-hmm.
building. So body recomp,
Composition.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Uh, the main thing, like we spoke about before, is knowing what your macros are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what your protein, carbs, and fat intake is,
Mm-hmm.
because that's basically what fuels you.
Yep.
Um, I know it's a little bit harder for vegans or vegetarians just because there's more protein in meat, but there's still a lot of great protein sources in plant-based foods. So the first thing I'll say is plan out your meals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your meals will go along with your workouts. You don't want to always do cardio-based workouts. You want to
Mm-hmm.
add a lot of strength training in it. Cardio is definitely necessary, at least 20 to 30 minutes. Um, 20 to 30 minutes each session, at least
Mm-hmm.
4 times a week. And from that, really just monitor what you eat. Go use a macro calculator. There's one on legionathletics.com. There are so many online. I think MyFitnessPal has a calculator.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you just kind of find out what that is. Because if you don't know what your protein and at least your protein and carb intake
Yep.
is, you might be over carbon. And carbs hold a lot of water in your body. So that's why a lot of people who snack on carbs, they're, oh, I'm not losing weight. Well, you have a lot of water weight, and your body is using those carbs versus the fat for energy. While protein kind of helps, rebuild your muscles after you've worked them out. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the first thing I'll say is get at least 3 to 4 days of exercise. Don't let it be all cardio based because a lot of times people start doing a lot of diet restriction and where
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, I'm only going to eat one time today, and that's actually working against you. Like for me, once I started really losing weight, I started eating more, and that really tripped my mind out. Like
Yeah.
eating more to lose weight or eating more to lose fat,
Yeah.
right? Because some days my weight was going higher.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah. And then another thing is, the last thing I would say is find out what your body fat is. Um, use the in-body scanner or a DEXA scan, and that will kind of help calculate what your body fat is, so you know where you're going, whether it's higher or lower.
Okay.
Because the scale is not anyone's friend.
Honestly.
It really isn't. You could have had a great week, but
Yeah.
your weight kind of went a little bit higher,
Yeah.
right? But you have to factor in water, what you ate, how you slept, so the scale is very misleading.
We love to see it. So where would you the fat scale thing that you were just talking about, where does one find that to even use?
Um, I'll say I love this interview switch. uh, but what I'll say is certain gyms have it,
Yep.
the in-body scan, and is pretty accurate. There are certain nutrition stores that have it, such as Nutrition Corner in Virginia, for those that live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
Mm,
There's another one in Columbia, Maryland, that has the in-body scanner because they kind of use it as a way for people to try to buy supplements, as in,
okay.
hey, get this free scan, and then they'll try to, I guess, see what supplements will help you. So I'll say definitely search or for those areas. There's also on what's that, Groupon? I
Mm,
don't know who still uses Groupon nowadays. It's almost a defunct company. But if you look on Groupon, they
yeah.
have uh, they have listings for it. And then a DEXA scan. You could just search DEXA scan. They have
Mm-hmm.
a locator. And DEXA scan uses a little bit of radiation because it gives you your lean body mass. I mean, it uses an X-ray machine,
Okay.
but it's very, very minute, very, very minute. And it helps calculate your lean body mass, your body fat, your bone density. So it gives you a lot of metrics that's very needed in your journey. So that way you're
Okay.
not waking up every day and saying, "Oh, my weight is higher. I'm not going to eat today,"
Mm,
or and going through that emotional aspect of your fitness journey, which can be mentally taxing.
definitely can. Definitely can.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I have. So it's like all I'm hearing is that you can't outwork a bad diet and the scale is not your friend.
Yes, yes, you can't
Basically.
outwork a bad diet. Um, but I know everyone always says diet is 70% and fitness is 30%. I'm actually
Yeah.
the opposite. I
Mm,
say diet is maybe 40 to 50%, and then yeah, exercise is about 50 to 60% on how you do that ratio. Because if you
okay.
eat not so well, as everyone says, it's still a food, still a fuel
Yeah.
source. And you don't know how your body is gonna use it, right? And everything is still broken into protein, carbs, and fat. So if
Mm,
you eat that Cinnabon, it's still a carb that your body needs, that could fuel your workout. Don't look at it as, oh, this is a dessert. Oh my goodness, I went off my journey, and then you go deeper in the hole, right? Just
yeah.
like, okay, I ate the Cinnabon, I loved it. Don't feel guilty about it. Guilty is the worst feeling to ever have when you eat something. Just be like, oh, I accept it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go to the gym. Do you want to go a little bit harder in the gym the next time? Maybe, just to use it as a fuel source, but not as a punishment.
I'm glad that you said that because a lot of people do beat themselves up about
Mhm.
um, if they like slipped up, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, just important. Like moderation
Hmm.
is important in general. It doesn't matter what kind of um, food lifestyle you're on.
Hmm.
Just moderation is key.
Yeah.
Period. And you'll be happier too, honestly, because like being so rigid, especially with food, because I personally think eating is an experience along
Hmm.
with the health benefits of it.
Hmm.
So you kind of just have to, just a little bit of leeway here and there, just so that you're happy, because
Exactly.
that's a part of your health too,
And we can
you know.
see the happiness in your creations, you know.
Yeah, I'd be so
Nice.
excited. Honestly, I really do get excited just showing new ways every week of how to make something, especially if it's like a common um, recipe that people would normally equate with
Hmm.
uh, meat.
Hmm.
Like even the split pea soup, like I said before, because normally that has ham hock in it and
Ah.
all that stuff. So even making that more plant based, vegan, there's like a lot of good traction on YouTube with that, where
Hmm.
people are just like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do it like that," and it's just like, yeah, there's like seasoning is technically vegan, so you don't have to put meat in everything.
Yeah. And I'm not, no, I can't say that, but I do.
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, and I don't knock it either because I'm not again like I'm not vegan, so
Mhm.
I don't have strong feelings either way. So yeah, what's in that juice, by the way?
What's in this juice? This is
Mm-hmm.
Real Juice by P4 Fit. It has green kale,
Mm-hmm.
Tuscan kale, green apples, cucumbers, pineapple, ginger, sea moss, bladder wrack, burdock, and coconut water.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's definitely a powerhouse right there.
Yes,
That
it
burdock
is.
root, oof.
It's great. So yeah, p4fit.com if you want some real juice. You guys should actually do a collab one day. Uh, since you
Yeah,
make
you
the
think?
meals, uh, Darren makes the juices. That's a perfect collab. right there.
It is. Get
Think about
your bodies all right and
exactly.
together.
Any other questions?
Any questions? And thank you to all those who did subscribe, follow, and whatever else. I did see your comments. I'm just now acknowledging them all, but thank you. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for joining us. This has been a great conversation because I definitely had to get you on this for my first episode because I've been watching your meals for a while. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, I want to try that.
But
I got to make that.
have you
Yeah,
tried anything yet?
especially once you made I think the banana pancakes.
I'm surprised. A lot of people have been telling me about the banana pancakes as of recently, like as of this week.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, interesting. Because, most times it's just like, okay, I post it and then I forget about it.
Hmm.
But it's good to see that people are actually, retaining and, getting, I'm making an imprint
Hmm.
on people's minds in that
Oh,
way.
yeah, definitely. All right. Any last questions? Anything? Fitness, plant based? Um, no? All right. Well, appreciate everyone for joining us on this wonderful conversation this Wednesday, May 15th.
Yeah.
I'd like to wish my brother a happy birthday. Today is his birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah. And yeah, well, there'll be more info. This video will be posted on my page with links to Chantel's uh, pages as she has on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, killing the game.
Yes,
So
indeed.
there's no excuses to not get any of her information. Plus, she has a free guide on how to stock your pantry upon other things. So you're getting a lot of gems today, everyone. Uh, Thanks for joining us on the first edition of Toast Talks.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Yes, appreciate
Get
you,
a good,
Chantel.
of course, I did enjoy myself.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes from you too.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right.
Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
guys.